me down there. Can't guard me, you hear him.
12 seconds later.
Gonna have to go. Lillard had that big third quarter and gets them for him. Great opportunity to play. Lillard kicks it out. McCollum for three. Switches on to it. Lillard gets by him with the left. Melo catch and shoot.
See, that's just a perfect example why you don't trash talk Dame. I mean, not only did Westbrook botch his free throws, but he also got schooled by Lillard later on in consecutive crucial possessions to come up with the win. Now, this was not the last time that Brody tried to get under Dame's skin, because back in 2019, he was just like asking for it.
Lillard blocked from behind by Westbrook. The two of them jawing at each other. Whole game the way they played, so physical basketball from the opening tip. Count it, and the foul. Timeout Portland as the lead is back to 7.
But, see, after the war of words and the baby-cradling gestures that were thrown out by Westbrook, we all know who got the last laugh in that series.
Lillard, long-range three, and it's good! At the buzzer! For 50 points. Good.
When it was all said and done, Dame Time gave Westbrook a nice 50-piece parting gift before gently waving them off into that good night. I mean, that moment left a lasting scar in Paul George's eyes, since he only had this to say when he got asked about it.
Yeah. I mean, that's a bad shot. I don't care what anybody says, that's a bad shot.
If there's an unspoken secret rule in the NBA, then it has to be talking trash to Damian Freakin Lillard is never a good idea. I mean, the man is a certified stone-cold killer, and if you try to mess with him, he'll mess you up in ways you couldn't imagine. See, this is exactly what happened to Jordan Poole when he tried to formally introduce himself to Lillard for the very first time.
He said something, so I kind of looked back like, what? You know? So we keep playing or whatever, and they had like a bunch of young dudes out there, and they was high energy. They had it going that night. You know, when you run up against one of those young teams that just got it going that night. So I think I had like 40, but we lost at Golden State. And towards like, I think it was towards the end of the first half maybe or whatever, I'm at the free throw line and he's just back there just talking. So I turned to him and I'm like, man, like shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, shut up. That's how kind of how I said to him. He was like, make me. He was like, make me. So my natural instinct was like, bro, like I train in combat. Like I'm from Oakland. That was my natural. So we start going back and forth.
Anyway, after that incident, Lillard never saw Poole and the Warriors until their MLK Day matchup in the following year. And let's say that Dame was keeping receipts all along while plotting his revenge. And in that game, things didn't look all too well for the Warriors, because JP3's loudmouth had finally gotten them into deep trouble.
Then like shortly after that, we played him on, I think, MLK Day in Portland. And he was on the bench, and I started the game real slow. And he on the bench, he says, oh, he ain't on night. So then Draymond is sitting next to him. And me and Draymond are real cool. So in that game, I end up scoring 60 points, and we beat him in Portland.
I remember that, yes.
So I end up scoring 60 points, and we beat him. And I just remember telling Draymond, like, man, I don't mess with that dude like that. Like, I don't like him.
Report. What? Three, Lillard!
Because Coach Curry even told us before the game, Draymond's been able to teach him some tricks defensively when you're that.
And that has been a change in direction for him. Lillard with another three! Working on Burks. Dancing free, a three, good!
Because of Jordan Poole's failed trash talk attempt, the Warriors paid for it dearly as Lillard fired on all cylinders to cap off the night with a monster 61-point performance, along with 11 threes, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. Anyways, just like Jordan Poole, D'Angelo Russell once tried to start smoke that he couldn't put out against Lillard back in 2017.
It calls for the Lakers in the future to come. Team, but he's one that plays it.
All right, defense, of course. Can we go back to Ingram, or you want to talk about me?
Go Ingram.
Okay. What does he need to keep doing to develop, Coop?
Well, first of all, he reminds me of myself. He's, what, about 105 pounds?
Lillard was shooting just 3 out of 14 before the incident, and since he poked the Bear responded big time. And as they say,
it was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
Down the middle with the and one.
Here's the bomb pass. Here's Mozgov. And the Blazers open up a modest three-point and score. He'll speed by Randall. He's got 5 on 4. Goes into the lane, laid it in.
See, sometimes you got to be careful who you talk reckless to.
Lillard skips into front court, angles to the glass, laid it up and in.
After their confrontation, Lillard cooked up 13 straight points, 11 of which came in the third quarter alone, to let D-Lo know that you can't just walk up there and talk trash to someone like Damian Lillard. Now, when we talk about the hardcore trash talking, the first name that comes to our mind is Dillon Brooks. And coincidentally, there was one time when he pushed Lillard's button so hard that Dame Dollar had no choice but to fire some shots back.
We don't see this often.
No.
Dame doesn't take the time to get into talk.
After their altercation at the foul line, Lillard just zipped his mouth and simply let his game do the talking.
Element Morant broken up by Covington. Here's Lillard attacking the cup, gets it. Match with Jackson Jr. Shot clock winding down, gets right by him. Lillard with the left.
Some of the Hall of Famers.
Lillard curling up the Nurk. Lillard wide open off a pair of screens.
The chirping incident with Brooks lit a fire under Lillard, and he just blasted the Grizzlies by ending up with 27 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds to show Brooks that he's not the type of guy that you want to bark against. Now, the so-called bad guys aren't the only ones who failed in trash-talking Dame Dollar, because there were times when friendly players like Luka Doncic also tried to get into his head to throw him off his game.
Now we've got Luka in discussion with Lillard.
Despite Luka's trash talk, the game was already decided at that point as the Blazers cruised to a blowout win. However, Lillard doesn't let Luka easily off the hook for his crimes, and so he goes out for blood when he meets the Mavs again the very next day.
Dame handling, step back outside, a 3 is good. Game on Tuesday against the Ducks. Dame turns the corner into the lane. Along with Yusuf Nurkic to start this fourth period. Dame off the screen, turns the corner, step back over. Simons freezes Powell. Heads to the baseline. Dame outside, one dribble.
Luka's unwarranted trash talking fueled a fire under Lillard, and as expected, it didn't turn out to be pretty for the Mavs as Lillard dropped 40 points on them along with 3-pointers and 6 assists to grab the easy win. Now to close this one out, let's take a look back at the time when Patrick Beverley went up on Lillard's grill and just started talking smack at him for some reason. In order to prevent things from escalating further, the refs quickly stepped in to flame out the hostile situation, and eventually, the cooler heads prevailed, and the game continued without any incidents. However, Lillard wasn't satisfied that Pat Bev wasn't justly punished, and so he took matters into his own hands by unleashing his inner Steph Curry mode out of nowhere to cook Pat Bev and the rest of the purple and gold.
Jeremy sees 2, brings it up top here to Lillard. Pile on down. Leading 65-46. Dame a 3. Yeah!
Although the Blazers lost that game, Lillard let the world know that there are going to be some serious consequences if you try to trash talk Dame Dollar. So, do you think Dame will win a chip during his career? Why or why not? Let us know in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed this trash talking video, be sure to click this next one on your screen. Go ahead and click it. It's free.